love is strangers. Believe me when I say, loving me is loving danger. Your heart is bound to break. I walk alone in the night, neath the pale moon. Loving's for the fools. Baby, beware of my bite. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a creeping through the shadows and the corners of your mind. I go where the wind blows. I run but I don't hide. I hear the call of the wild, whispering the name. No, I can't be tamed. My heart belongs to the night. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a
let's make it work for good this time. Hard where they can't see us. We got enough time to
One deep breath and it was over. Time of our lives. We were young, we used to dance. All I needed was a chance. Prove to you that I was worth it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another AFR broadcast. As usual, I am Kunai Zero. And with me today, taking the place of C. Current, as he is unavailable, is Jacob Meister.
Great to be commentating. Good night. Good night. Hello, everyone. Jeez.
All right. So, we are here for round 19 for Tier 1 and Tier 2. We start off with the Tier 1 broadcast here at Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. Let's have a quick snapshot of the leaderboard at the moment. Revo is currently your championship leader with 324 points for Racing Point. Pacey is second with 255 points. And just to point out, Pacey is actually in our lobby for tonight, so he will be returning to racing. So hopefully we'll be seeing some good challenging to Revo. Seb is currently in third with 245 points. Gus Rules in fourth for Ferrari with 186. If we have a look at the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes is still holding on. They are in quite of a lead. They're currently on 500 points between Seb and Pacey. And Racing Point is in second, being carried by Revo with 370 points. And Renault with Bandcamp and Greenie, they are currently in third with 229. So hopefully with the remaining races we will see some form of shake-up. But that is yet to be determined. So, here we are in qualifying. 16 minutes 45 left on the clock. Revo has a 5.
The shenanigans have already started in Tier 1, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. Oh.
What's he doing? Oh no. Okay. I thought he was going to run back into him for a second.
Alright. So, let's just have a quick snapshot here. Before I could even stop talking, Revo got a 5 group place penalty for hitting flyboy, it seems. So, we'll have to look into that one. But anyway, we'll see how that goes. The other thing I have to point out too is that our weather guys have come back to us. It's a wet race.
Wow.
It's a wet race in Texas.
Wow. This is spicy.
Yeah, if there was ever a day to buy a lot of numbers, today would be it. A wet race in Texas.
Wet race? Revo 5 place group penalty? This is going to be insane already.
This is quite interesting. So we'll see how that group place penalty comes into it. I'm not sure if that's something that can be fixed, whether or not just because qualifiers started, do we restart qualifying or do we carry it on and they can fix it retroactively. We'll have a look. But I don't know what happened there. But either way, we'll have to move forward, it seems. So 17 drivers on the grid. This is going to be a hectic race. We've got a good representation from everybody. As you can see, Matt Zoid currently out on his lap. And I think he'll be the first one across. No, it looks like Gus Rules is first. Yes, that's right. So let's jump down to him. Have a look at how he makes his way around this track. Now, of course, Circuit of the Americas is one of the newer designed tracks. Has a great early section on with the S's, and then of course the long straight at the back between turn 11 and 12, and then the 3 kinked corner of 16, 17 and 18. So
insane track.
Yeah, we should see some really good racing from these guys, and hopefully it'll be an enjoying race. If the 100% race was anything to go by, this will probably be one for the ages, especially since we get to watch it twice due to Tier 1 and Tier 2 both racing. So as you can see, Gus Rules coming on the outside, the last sector of the track here through that triple kink, holding a nice line there as he moves down into the second to last corner, using all of that green section, as you do. A little bit of a lock up there on that front left, but let's see, he'll cross the line with a 1:31.9, so that will be the first time on the board. Let's drop down one. On board with the Red Bull of Matt Zoid.
That's a good time from Gus Rules as well. Everyone was setting 31s back in the practice lobby as well earlier today, so see if everybody else can match that as Matt Zoid backs off. Looks like he might have made mistakes on that.
Not sure, but it looks like that will be a bin for that lap. So let's jump down a couple. On board with Apollo Pepsi. Now, interesting race with him because last time, from what I remember, he took out his teammate, who is currently in front of him. So hopefully we don't see a repeat of that. I would like to see the McLarens finish. That would be nice. It's about time they get some run of luck. So.
They deserve it, honestly. Polo just on the hards. Nut sitting at 34.8, so nothing crazy there. Revo 31.952, just behind Gus Rules. That's interesting.
Right, Nut comes across with a 134.8. Matzoid came across with a 141, but that was a slow and binned lap. Bandcamp comes across with a 132.1. As Wahid also comes across with a 132.5. Sphinx with a 150.9, so that's obviously a binned lap as well. And Seb sets the fastest lap with a 131.7. Coming across there for Mercedes. We'll see how his teammate can hold up as Pacey's first race in a long time. He's currently in the pit lane, so we'll see more from him later as Apollo is starting to come through the end of Sector 2 now. Let's see, did anybody else just... Yeah, Mikau with a 133.5 there for the Red Bull. So, what are your predictions, man? What do you think?
Honestly, with Pacey coming back, we don't know how he's going to race today, if he's going to be anything compared to Revo or any of the other front runners, but it'd be nice to see a good battle up front, that's for sure, because Revo's been flying away recently.
Yes, indeed. Revo has been absolutely dominating this Tier 1 sphere. You can tell that he's put in so much practice and he's got talent to back it up. But hopefully we can see some fighting here from the grid. We did see a great battle between him and Seb in Singapore, where as the rain started to fall, Seb held on and managed to win that race. So hopefully with Pacey returning, Mercedes can hold stronger against the dominating Pink Panther. So Apollo comes across with a 134.9 as he completes his lap. Let's jump down a couple with combined. It looks like Greeny just came across, slots in right underneath his teammate there, 132.4. And Sphinx. Oh my God! Sphinx, 131.8.
I was just going to point out, his first showing in F1 for a while now. Only been sticking to the F2 series, but he's come back and he's coming back. Look at that.
Oh, this is great. You see Sphinx in the F2 series, so strong. And I always ask the question, why do we not see that driver in our Tier 1 race? But judging by that time, we might see a change. So Sphinx, 131.8, puts himself in a second right now. That is a great showing. We still have 5 drivers left to set a time. And it looks like Flyboy is currently on an outlap, as well as Saxer, as the other 3 are in the pits waiting. So we'll stay on board with the Ferrari. Flyboy's teammate set a 131.9, currently in third. We'll see what the second Ferrari can set. 10 minutes and 26 remaining on the clock.
It's pretty tight between the first few cars when Seb and Sphinx aside. A couple of 131.9s and a 131 flat. Band's right up there as well. This is going to be very close towards the end of the session.
As they all get their warm-ups out of the way, as we start to fall down towards that 4-minute mark, we'll see some crazy flying laps come out. And then, of course, track position is so important on a track like Coda, because you always want to be in front coming up to that turn 1. Turn 1, obviously that massive incline, and then a left-hander into that decline. You can almost go 4 wide if you're brave enough. That's one of those things where we'll see who has the big ones, and we'll see who pushes through as Flyboy starts his flying lap. So in through the S's here. Nice speed maintained, hitting all of those apexes.
Very clean so far. A little bit wide there. Giving it up nicely.
You move into turn 10, and then you got that small little bend all the way out into turn 11, and then you've got that back straight. So a great overtaking opportunity here as you move into that DRS zone. Cross the line, wing open, flat stick, all the way down into turn 12, and then you start to come into the small complex of corners. Just go hard on the brakes and move into that inside line.
Super tidy so far from Flyboy.
Yeah, we're seeing a pretty good there, 1:02.1 for that sector 2 time.
There's traffic ahead though.
Hopefully they'll get out of the way. Looks like he'll move through turn 15 now, so here comes that 3-kink corner. Nice line. Let's see if he holds it. Oh, gets a little bit of wrestle with the wheel, but it shouldn't lose too much time. Nuts in the way. Looks like he'll go. Oh, no. Oh, okay.
And there's a little bit of rage there, and I don't blame him for that. That was very messy all around from both of them.
Flyboy just got a 5 group place penalty. Oh my god, he got disqualified from the session. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. All right, let's have a quick look at that. Right, so you can see he's coming through and Nut just doesn't move away. And there's what causes a collision. And unfortunately, that's given Flyboy the penalty and a disqualification from session. So that'll have to get looked at because that was in no way his fault.
I think Nut tried to dart to the left to try and get out of the way, but going into the corner, he was still going to be blocking him. So he just tried to stick to the racing line, thinking Flyboy would go past him there. But at that point, there was too much indecision from both of them, and the inevitable happened. So
yeah, that is crazy unfortunate. So we'll have to see what the outcome of that is. But for now, as the result stands, Flyboy is disqualified, which means that he will start from the back. And 16 drivers remain here in this qualifying session. 7 minutes, 20 seconds. We haven't really seen much movement on that top half of the grid. But Seb is going around again as he moves in to the triple kink. Let's have a look here. Nice line. Holding it down in that Mercedes. Great aerodynamics there.
And
Bandcamp just sit into second. Oh, and looks like Seb calls it off.
Oh, it's like left. Will that hurt him? Yeah, well.
Yeah, so a 1:31.9. So even with that little, he's still put an amazing time that would have put him fourth. But he still holds on to provisional pole, I should say.
Pacey's on an outlap apparently. No, he's on his lap now.
All right, so Pacey. Some would say the prodigal son returns. So we'll see what type of time he can set. Gus just set the fastest lap in the Ferrari of the 1:31.3. So
Track evolution playing his part, yeah.
So here we go. 6 minutes, 19 seconds on the clock. And as we start to dwindle down the time, those flying laps get faster and faster. All eyes will be on Revo in a minute. We'll see if he can improve at all. I'm sure he will.
But I don't think Pacey's on a lap because he's just in medium down the back straight, so it might be next lap.
He might be setting a warm-up lap. He is known, both him and Seb are known to wait till very late in the session and then set their times. So, I mean, he's only on that, like you said, he's only on that medium ERS. Medium ERS, but it'll come across. Looks like in the 133s. Ooh, 134.3. So, right now, still on that medium.
Could just be filling it out at this point. And if he's not in much practice, then could just be filling out the track for now.
Yeah, he is definitely putting in some warm-up laps. Right, let's jump down to Lotus here. So 2 drivers yet to set a lap. Potsy in the Haas and Lotus in the Toro Rosso.
I think Potsy's actually away. He said he was not going to be able to be around for qualifying, but just in the lobby.
Ah, okay.
So whether he'll make a lap or not, we'll see.
So
he's coming on now.
1:33.5. That'll put him in 13th, just underneath the Haas of combined.
Ooh, very tight around there, actually. 33.5s all round.
So yes, there's a very. You can see where the battles are happening. So we've got from 1 to 6th, and then we've got 7th to 10th, and then we've got 11th to the rest of the grid.
That's wonderful.
All right, let's jump up a couple. On board with Greeny, a Renault driver. Jump on board with him. We'll see how he's going. Russell 4.5 seconds. So looks like he's just doing a cold lap. That's okay.
Sphinx is on a lap currently. Oh no, he isn't. He's backed out as well.
Yeah. So Revo looks like he is getting ready to set his. No, he's on nothing.
He's got no ARS.
So he looks like he called it early.
Everyone, 4 minutes left. I think everyone's just trying to get back into the pits, get one last set of tyres to get one last lap in.
Revo stopped right in the middle of the track.
McLaren's crossing the line now. Not. Doesn't improve. 35.6.
Pacey jumps back into the pits. So he's looking to try and get a quick pit stop in order to get out. Let's jump on board with the Alfa Romeo of Saxa, currently on his outlap. So we've seen some pretty crazy times being set. Revo set a 1:31.3. That's bumped him straight up into second. And that's pushed Sphinx down a couple of positions. Seb holding 1:31.7. Bandcamp with a 1:31.77. So that's got him in fourth.
Sphinx just hasn't had an answer to everybody else's laps yet, but we'll see what happens in this final stage as Nut retires.
Nut retires out of the session now with 3 minutes to go, so he'll have to live with his 1:34.8. And he'll also have to live with the fact that he's caused Flyboy to get disqualified. So, no pressure.
Would not want to know what the comms are like there. Ugh.
So 2 minutes 46 now. It's coming up to last call, as one would say, for here. So Sax currently on his outlap, Wahid and combined, as well as Seb. So let's see what the Alfa Romeo can do.
Sax is the first of the runners as well to do their last lap.
Yeah, so we usually tend to skirt over some of the Alfa Romeos, admittedly. But let's just give them some shine time.
Please.
So Sax are coming around the last sector now, just setting up. I have to admit, man, F1 does some really, really good cameras here at Coda.
They do.
Terrible ones other places, but Coda does have some good cameras. So hopefully for you guys watching at home, we'll be able to put on quite a show for you. So here comes the Alfa Romeo across that line, starts the flying lap. Let's have a look at where he will place. Currently in 10th, so in the points positions, the 1:32.6. As Sphinx retires, so he will be happy with his 1:31.8, currently sitting 5th.
Keeps it in hot lap, going up to the yeses now. Relatively clean. He's 1/10 up in his past time. Let's go through the left-hander here. He's keeping it pretty clean so far. This could be decent. That corner's awful sometimes. You can get a bit of oversteer on the exit there and just lose it. He's kept it nice and clean though, as everybody else has. Keeping it in hot lap mode down the straight. 320 k's. Breaks the 100 meter board. Yep. Nice apex there. Nice and clean on the exit. Coming around to this little kink here. It's double kink. And then this corner always gets me, man. You got to enter this just right and exit it just right. But that's very nice indeed, keeping it nice and straight going out through this fast right-hander. Oh, is this traffic going to get in his way? Revo? No, didn't do a nut. Very good. Ooh, cut a little bit of that, but I think that's fine. That won't be a warning. Let's go up to the last turn now. Gets the DRS. Let's see what sort of time he gets. 32.2. That's not bad. 11th place.
So 1:32.2. However, that leaderboard has not updated, so I think...
No, he must have invalidated.
He must have invalidated. So let's jump up a couple. We know that Seb was on an outlap, so he's now flying through. Currently 1/10 up on his time through Sector 2. Or Sector 1, I should say. So we'll have a look as to where... Here we go. 3/10 up on his Sector 2 time. So right now he is looking to improve. So Potsy will come across with no time allotted because he missed qualifying.
He couldn't make it, yeah.
So he'll start at the back with Flyboy. Here we go, using all the green stuff. It's a great job there from the Mercedes. Let's have a look as to where he'll finish. It's looking like a 1:30. Oh, 1:31.1. That'll put him on pole. So provisional pole right now for the Mercedes. But everybody is currently out. So let's have a look here. We'll have to monitor the times because I'm not sure
Gus is
where
one
everyone...
team's up right now. Bander's 1 tenth up. No, he's 2 tenths down. Sorry, after the second sector.
So combined YouTuber retires from the session with a 1:32.1. Greeny comes across the line. He'll settle with a 1:32.4, currently in 10th. Here comes Gus Rules. He'll cross the line with a 1:31.65, just underneath the time of the Mercedes, but he will keep second. But let's see if Revo comes across the line any faster. He's looking at a 1:31.34, so he'll keep third as Bandcamp pulls into the pits. So he won't improve at all. 1:31.7, currently fourth. So Sphinx has retired. Matzoid has retired. Wahid coming across the line now, and he set a...
Fourth, even fourth, 1:31.6.
Oh, so he has pushed Bandcamp out of that fourth position. Ooh, crazy amount of time switches there. Okay. So, great job there from Seb. He'll take that pole position, 131.1. And then Gus Rules with a 131.6. 131.16. Look at that. 0.015 was the difference. So a great job there from both those drivers. Revo setting himself in third, but of course, that incident early on, which gave him that 5-place grid penalty, so he will start down in 8th, which allows Wahid to take 3rd and Bandcamp to take 4th. Great drive from the rest of our drivers. Unfortunate for Flyboy, who did get disqualified, so we'll have to see how that all comes out at the end. Nut, of course, got a grid place penalty because of what happened, because of the collision that they had. And Potsy will start at the back of the grid as well due to him missing qualifying. So, all in all, we should be in for a cracker race. And as I said, here is the rain. So, Coda in the rain. This will bring out some interesting strategy, and will also bring out some interesting driving. Because, of course, this is designed to be a high-speed track. And when you bring water into the mix, things can get real loose real quick.
Yeah, it's going to be super spicy, especially with that approach into turn 1. I don't think I'd try 4 wide in the weird, I tell you.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Of course, they will have their formation lap to try and figure out their best strategy there. So we'll have to keep an eye out on Pacey as well, because, of course, it is his first race back in quite a while. We'll see how he copes, not only with the pressure of such an increased grid, but the rain as well.
Yeah, that could catch him off guard at being wet, for sure. I'm just wondering if it's heavy rain or not, if they have to use intermediates or wets. I guess we'll find out soon, though.
So just waiting on all the drivers to finalise their setups so that they can get off onto their formation lap. So I'm not too familiar as to how many laps are around Coda, but I think it's 50...
Oh, well, it's 50% race.
Yeah, so it'll be 20...
I'm
not sure. We'll find out eventually.
It's a number. Just
28.
pick a number.
Thank you, Impulse. 28.
Impulse coming in clutch there.
Oh.
Could be waiting up on Potsy, to be honest. She's even in the list. No, I don't see him.
There's a couple of things here too. I don't see Flyboy either.
No, that wouldn't be due to his disqualification. No. Oh no, I see him there. Flyboy's in the list.
Oh, sorry, Flyboy is there. He's hiding in the middle. So it's Potsy that isn't in the list. Okay.
Oh, and Revo's just readied up. I'm going to call him out. There you go.
All right. Well, it looks like Revo has a top 10 time in the world for the wet in this track. Cool. All right. Well, no worries. Of course, it'll be Revo that practices it in the wet.
It's going to be a massive advantage, though.
Yeah, TT or not, that's still, your skills are going to...
Oh, we do have Potsy on the grid. Good.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so, yes, 17 drivers. Excellent. All right, so as you can see, all cars making their way out onto the track for their formation lap. Seb in the Mercedes, leading proud as Gus Rules in the Ferrari behind, and Wahid in a Toro Rosso is in third. I understand that all the cars are equal, but still.
Great showing there.
So, yes.
Intermediates for everyone right now.
So, as far as I'm aware, it will be raining through the entire race. I don't think it will let up at all, and currently, based on how wet it seems, okay, they've decided to go inters. I know that the wets do penalise you quite hard in terms of time, so it's not a great tyre to... Hold on a minute, Wahid!
Just exploring the track, I think.
Oh, that's great. I just saw him just pass underneath the camera.
Oh dear. Earlier on in the day we had a practice race, and one thing that I heard being complained about a fair bit was the amount of penalties and warnings just for random things. This is one of those tracks where you can get some warnings for just some really weird things, and then some corners you can just cut and not get a warning. So we'll see how that plays in the wet. So there could be a lot of penalties this race.
Yeah, might be quite an overload for the stewards, but we'll see how we go. That's why he's trying to get rid of all the debris in his tyres after he had that little bit of an off. Let's jump down a couple here. As Pacey's coming up onto that McLaren. So we're going to keep some eyes on him. We'll see how his first race back. Let's see how he performs.
Seb slows right down at the front, just trying to gain as much respect as he can before they line up. Looks like it's worked out though. It's down to 92%. That's why he slowed down.
I turned my ERS to off. Why bother having ERS?
To be honest.
Why bother having ERS on your formation lap? It's like, ooh.
Yeah, bit odd, but he's worked out at least, so that's good.
Okay, so chances are this is going to be a hectic turn 1, so I will try my best to keep on top of all the action. We'll start off from the front of the grid and we'll smooth our way through as they make their way. So obviously we're just waiting on the rest of the grid to form up, and then we'll be able to kick off 28 laps around Circuit of the Americas. The engines are revving, the lights are coming on. Here we go, waiting for that 5th light. So it's lights out and away we go as everyone starts making their way down towards turn 1. So far so good. As they're coming up, looks like the Toro Rosso's trying to sandwich in between, but he backs off slightly. And the Ferrari's going to have the inside line. Riva goes up on the outside, Bandcamp on the inside. Both Red Bulls side by side as they come through. And right now, it looks like they're away and going. Gus Rawls takes the lead with Seb right behind. Wahid in 3rd. Bandcamp keeps his position. Riva gets dropped down a bunch of positions. He's now in 7th. As Pacey makes his way through the grid as well. You can see one of the McLarens just coming off of the S's.
Both of them.
Oh, man, it's pretty crazy. There's a Renault spinning, and it looks like Greedy. He gets punted off the track just a little bit.
Oh, dear.
So he'll go down into 16th.
Wow, crazy start. And I just caught them at the start into turn 1. Apollo losing a bit of front wing as well as heading Flyboy just earlier into the S's. And one thing to point out, Pacey's up 6 spots. He's in 8th right now. That's
right. He moved his way up with Revo as Revo was dropping down. So Gus Will's doing a great job to hold on. But Seb is looking to come up on the inside as they come down into turn 12. The Mercedes in a great spot, and I think he's got it. He'll go up on the inside, so he will lose some time. But he makes the move. But now Gus is on the inside. You can see them side by side as they move their way through. He had to wrestle that steering wheel as he gets a little bit of traction loss due to the weather. But Seb will retake the position, so there's been a change. Gus moves into 2nd. Wahid still in 3rd. Ban doing a great job in 4th. Revo's made his way back up to 5th. Teammate right behind. Matzoid in 7th. Pacey currently in 8th.
And also Flyboy up 5 places up into 12th as well. Good start from him.
Yeah, it's only lap 1 and it's been crazy so far. That's what the rain will do here at Coda. So as they finish up their first lap, moving in. Now, Potsy is currently in the pits, so it doesn't look like he is in the race at all.
Yep.
Not sure.
Looks pretty predictable.
Not sure what's going on there, but we'll keep an eye out. Revo manages to make the overtake here on Bandcamp as they move into turn 1. Side by side still as they go down in. You can see Revo there just on the left as he moves through the S's. He gets a little bit of an advantage.
Everyone's sort of settling down now. They're still packed up, but everyone's just sort of just filing through now. Oh, Mikau on Pacey.
Red Bull going up on the outside. Pacey losing a little bit. And you can see Combined trying to jump up on both of them as well. He'll move down into turn 11. Let's have a look. Pacey keeps that inside line. Mikau tries to go on the outside. Combined looking for a spot in between. Now, of course, because it is wet, there will be no DRS. So they'll have to use nothing but a tow to try and slingshot him across. Gus Rules 8,000ths behind Seb right now. There's a fierce battle. So we can see a nice train happening here from 8th onwards.
Reverse up to 3rd now. He's making quick work of everybody here.
Looks like that TT practice is starting to come through. Pacey maintains 8th. Oh, he's sideways. Oh, he's drifting. Oh, wait, no. He kept that. Okay. I thought he was losing that, but no, he kept it. So he will stay in 8th.
Good driving there. Everyone just sort of settling down. Can't see the full deltas between everyone. I'm not sure if it's the same for you.
Yeah, right now you'll have to wait till they cross that line to kick off. So Revo sets the fastest lap there with a 1:49.7. The intermediate tyre on board now with Mick as he's trying to chase down the Mercedes of Pacey. Gus Rules in the Ferrari trying to chase down our race leader. Looking at some of these gaps. Have a look here. Sphinx is trying to chase up all on the back of Bandcamp. Bandcamp trying to do the same to Wahid. There's a 2.2 second gap between the Toro Rosso and he, as I say that, he comes in. He comes off the track. Bandcamp will take the position. There's contact there between Sphinx and Wahid. Nobody's gone off. There doesn't seem to be any damage.
Lucky stuff there. Wahid's struggling in the wet, I think.
You can see that sister team. Have a look at Matzoid all over the back of that Toro Rosso. He'll be looking for a move, and he does, right up on the inside of turn 11.
Well, Matzoid just broke way later. Wahid keeping it safe, I suppose.
Massive.
He's getting carved up.
Massive dive as they pass turn 11. Now, down that back straight. You can see how hard it is to follow on a track like this. Pacey is also looking to jump. Combined YouTubers right behind Mick out.
Very angry pack here. Combined just cutting a little bit of that apex. No harm done.
Oh, he's looking for an inside dive. That's brave.
Not up far enough. Not up far enough. It's very hard to do there.
That is brave. I don't know what it looks like on his screen, but I can barely see the cars in front of me if it wasn't for that flashing brake light.
It's treacherous out there right now. Everyone's still pretty close together. This is going to be a very interesting race if it stays like this.
I have to admit, I know it is only lap 3, but the fact that nobody's had a serious incident yet, this is good. This is good to see.
Greening.
Well, is it a serious incident though?
Oh, okay, serious. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, he goes off the track, but he's made it come back. So Revo will set another fastest lap as we hear lap 4.
Inside line on Gus here, but won't be able to do anything with it, really. Oh, he stays on the outside of him as they approach towards the yeses. This could be spicy here. Oh, wow, he overtakes on the outside of turn 2. That's beautiful.
So we can see Revo just made it across from Gus Rules. Gus Rules now has put himself into third. There's a 3.8 second gap between him and Bandcamp. So right now it's going to be an all no-holds-barred battle between Seb, Revo and Gus. But the question is, will the Ferrari be able to keep up as he starts to drop back just a little bit? You can see coming into turn 11, he is much further behind.
Oh, and Revo just making contact with Seb there, but they both hold it together. It looks like there's no push. Oh, scary stuff.
So Nut comes down a couple of positions, sector 2 yellow flag.
Might be Nut there, I think.
Polo Pepsi with a 3-second time penalty. So he's the first one to pull the trigger there on the warnings. Massive lock up there.
Revo's just all over Seb. Don't know how long this will last for, though.
Question will be, can the strategy back up the driving? Because, of course... Oof, goes a little bit sideways there as Gus Rules makes a little bit of time up. Currently 0.6 behind.
Yeah, in qualifying we saw these little groups show up of people with pace, and we're still seeing it here as Pacey and Mick are just sort of battling a little bit still. But you can see everyone sort of forming up into little groups and starting to drift away from each other slightly now. And Mikhail does make that move on Pacey. Pacey just getting a little bit hairy towards the end of that triple kick.
Oh, he goes out way wide. That's going to allow Combined to try and come up on the inside here as they come around that last corner. And it looks like he'll make it move. Oh,
well, Pacey's
side by side. Here we go, side by side as they come down onto that straight. Yep, he'll have to fall in line. So Combined did have an advantage, but didn't have the exit speed, and that allowed Pacey to come back. Oh, looks on the inside for that dive, tries to clip the apex, but the Mercedes still has the speed there, so he'll stay in 10th.
Great racing there. Beautiful stuff. Just looking at the intervals there. Revo's just still on the Seb. Not letting him go at all, but biding his time, it seems. Fair enough, fair enough. Oh, he makes a dive going into the back straight. Makes it stick? No, Seb gets a better exit. As Combined gets a 3-second time pick.
Okay, so there's the second. Oh, what an angle there. You can see that Pink Panther looking to hunt as he comes up on the outside of turn 12. But as it stands right now, it looks like the Mercedes will have the better line. Down on the brakes. Let's have a look. Revo tries to look on the inside. Mercedes just has the shoes. Here we go. Out forward, Revo. Have a look at this. That racing point isn't letting...
Don't worry, I thought there was a spin there, my bad.
So you can see Sphinx and Matoid swapping places there as Seb keeping himself in the lead. Revo 0.3 behind, and the battle between them has allowed Gus Rules to catch up as well. So the times are even between all of these drivers. Revo sideways coming around turn 19.
Typical Revo fashion.
So here we go, lap 6 now as Gus Rules comes across the line. So Revo looking on that inside peak. Gus Rules will have to just maintain his position. And of course, as the tyres start to wear out, you're going to see more and more people.
Pacey's getting swallowed up right now. He just got passed by Sexa and Combined earlier. Pacey looking to go on the inside of Sexa though into turn 1. Looks like he'll get the job done.
Oh, they're going to come together a little bit. No, they just narrowly miss each other. Pacey still staying in 11th. So a bit of a rough start here for Pacey. See if he can improve as we still have more than 20 laps to go. Let's jump up a couple of positions. Mikau on the back of Wahid. Wahid, the Toro Rosso Cream, and a Red Bull Oreo at the moment.
Wahid's stuck on the net, so I could see that he's managed to gather it up from the awful start.
Oh, he goes up on the inside. Will he have the exit speed? Let's have a look. Matzoid is all the way off the track. That's going to allow Wahid to go straight past in that DRS zone. And right now you can't really see it, but they are side by side. So will the Toro Rosso keep that inside line? Mikau's looking to jump into this party as well. He takes quite a late break, so the Toro Rosso keeps the inside line. Will he keep the speed, though? Looks like he does it. Great job there from the sister team. Oh, but through the corners here. Have a look at this. The Toro Rosso keeps it on the inside nicely. Oh, but the Red Bull with a massive inside. But he doesn't make it work. Looks like Mikau also got dropped back a little bit. Combined looking to jump on that back Red Bull. I have to give props to this camera. You can see so well through here. Alright, so jump on with Matoid here as they're coming around turn 20.
A very angry pack here. They're racing so well and so tight.
Combine's looking for a peak. Will he get one? Nope. He'll stay behind. Plays it nice and easy. So Revo is currently in the lead. Seb has dropped back by 0.8. So Revo's starting to stretch his legs.
As you would expect, to be honest. He'll start pulling away now. And here I was thinking that Pacey and Revo would have this great battle. What a shame, but...
we'll see.
Yeah, plenty of time. That's true, that's true.
So Mikau looking to overtake his partner as they come round turn 10. But have a look at Combined. He's looking ballsy as well. And he does. He makes a massive dive. He has to correct, though. It was a great temporary position.
And
but
Mikau's
both Red Bulls...
because of that.
Both Red Bulls will keep that. So have a look now. Oh, what a camera angle back from that wing. As Mikau's trying to chase down his partner here, coming into turn 13. Oh, sorry, turn 12. Still side by side. The Haas hasn't left their rear either.
Tough to make a pass there, yeah. Mikau's still just searching for a gap, anything to just dive down. Not happening though, it seems. Oh, trying to force something here. Not quite.
So both these Red Bulls. So it's a good job there from Wahid. He's managed to make a 1 second gap appear. He's now trying to chase down Sphinx as Revo sets another fastest lap with a 1:48.9. Combine's trying to keep on the back of Mikau. Mikau doing the same to his teammate there.
Looks like our top order's just sort of set in stone now. Everyone's sort of pulling away from each other. Gus not quite being able to get onto the back of set, but still there, relatively.
Here comes a Red Bull. Down on the inside, makes the move. But will he be able to hold the speed coming through the corner? And he does! Matzoid gets forced back one. So Mikau and Matzoid will swap positions. Mikau was 7th and Combined now trying to stick onto the back of Matzoid. He's not going anywhere either.
Combined wants his just desserts, that's for sure. And Matzoid just getting a little bit hairy there for the uses. Combined not quite up there. Just going to have to bide his time here and just wait for the right moment. surely with all this battling, he will be able to find it.
So with an unfortunate amount, it looks like that Nut and Apollo and the McLarens are currently last. I mean, not last, Potsy's last, but yeah. So that is unfortunate. Hopefully they'll be able to improve it at some point. Have a look here at Combined. He gets a little bit of contact on the back of Matzoid there. Let's have a look what this toe will bring. Will he be able to do a peek on the inside? He's certainly looking for it. As Mikau's trying to do the same to the Toro Rosso. Oh, massive! There's a massive break there from Matzoid. Massive lockup. That's pushed him off. And that's allowed Pacey to come into the mix now as well.
Where did Pacey come from there? Jeez.
Pacey side by side now with the Red Bull. Pacey trying to take that 9th position. Matzoid telling him to get back. But Pacey will make the move. And that's allowed Pacey to come up. Combined makes a position. Matzoid down to 10th.
Wow. One mistake all it took there. Combined wasn't really going to be able to make that move otherwise, but fortune favours him, it seems.
Alright, so lap 9 of 28. We have a look at these intervals. Revo is out and away. 3 seconds between him and Seb in the Mercedes. Gus Rules has managed to keep that 0.5 gap between himself and second. Bandcamp is slowly pulling back as well, 5.2. So right now, first is in his own race. Second and third are currently fighting. And then, of course, from fourth onwards, it's anyone's game. Sphinx is 3.2 seconds behind Bandcamp. Wahid is closing the gap rapidly. He's 4.4 behind Sphinx. Mikau is driving like a man possessed, making his way past not only his teammate, but then, of course, jumping closer and closer to Wahid as well. Pacey manages to bring his way through as well. He's currently 9th. Combined doing a great job to hold himself in 8th position there. And if we look further back in the grid, you can see Greeny's trying to recover what he can after that incident. Currently 0.8 behind Lotus there. Flyboy, an unfortunate one because he started at the back of the grid, but he's currently 12th.
9 laps in, everyone's already got their own little story so far. And there's still another 19 laps to run. It's insane.
Alright, so down through that back straight. Let's have a look here. We've got a sector 2 yellow flag. Something's happened with Nut. Yep, he's gone off the track a little bit. He's just recovering there.
Holo passes him now.
Alright, so jump up back here. 0.4 between Mikau and Wahid combined. The same as well. So the Red Bull will be looking to pounce at some point. The question will be, when will the Toro Rosso slip up?
Just get the feeling that Wahid's slightly holding up Mikau here. Mikau just staying on the back of him, but it seems to be pretty hard to overtake in the wet here if you don't have a ton of pace compared to the person in front of you. Just going for the last corner now. Mikau right up on the back of him.
So here we are, lap 10.
And Pacey.
So Mikau 0.3. Will he look for that inside peak? No, he won't. Combined won't either. Pacey drops down as well. You can see all 4 cars now as they move through the S's section.
Who's going to block?
Pacey goes a little bit wider than the others, but it looks like it's given him a bunch more speed as he brings up the rear of that Haas. Wahid manages to keep it nice. Looks like Mikau has dropped back by 2.6. He's brought it up again as they move around turn 9, moving up to turn 11. A little bit of wrestle there from the Mercedes. But a great train developing here, 6th to 9th. Matzoid currently 1.2 behind Pacey.
Don't discount Matt just behind him.
Okay, so Mikau, have a look at this toe. You can see that water splashing up. Wahid keeps the inside line. Mikau will go on the outside. Now it comes down to who has the better exit. Red Bull up on the outside. There's a little bit of contact, but not too much. But the Toro Rosso does lose out. Mikau makes that position. But have a look at this. Combined is going to try and come up here. And Pacey as well. Pacey goes up on the outside of the Haas. He'll have the inside coming in to the next turn. Can't go too deep because he'll collide with that Toro Rosso. Combined gets squeezed out. Pacey makes the position. Mikau jumps up 1. Pacey jumps out 1. Wahid and Combined dropping back.
Very tight. Very good racing from all of them there.
This is great to see. Pacey sideways as he hits that curve. That's going to cause Combined to try and have a little bit of a peak, but wasn't in a prime position. Saxa gets a 3 second time penalty. Pacey goes way left. Not sure what happened there.
Just filtering through. Just checking to see who has time penalties currently.
Oh, you can see Pacey fighting with that steering wheel. Something is up. Not sure what it is, but he is having a little bit of issues here with the handling.
It could be tyre wear at this point.
Oh, Wahid goes. He drops off. Looks like Combine's going to try and make a jump as well. Through the S's, that's a bit brave, but we'll see. No, Wahid will hold 8. So Pacey makes his way up 2 positions now. He's in 7th.
Apollo, Combined, and Saxa are the only 3 with penalty. Combined gets another one just as they're
And have a look at Matzoid! Matzoid comes out of nowhere, drops the 1 second gap, and now it looks like Wahid, Matzoid, and Combined all fighting as they come down into that back straight past turn 11. Where the hell did he come from? He was 1 second behind a second ago, and now he was fighting for Combined into turn 11. And Pacey holding off Wahid as Wahid drops down, but Matzoid goes too deep again. And that's going to allow Saxa to come in. So Saxa will take 10th. Sorry. Wahid drops one down. Combined manages to pass. Oh my God. And Flyboy is now in the mix. He's in 12th, but he's only 0.4 behind that Red Bull.
They're Alpha just getting a little bit sideways there for their turn.
Oh, and Flyboy goes out wide.
Oh, dear me.
Lap 12 of 28. Pacey. Pacey has made his way from the back all the way up into 7th, so it's a great drive from him. He's also put a second and a half between him and the Haas behind. Wahid having a little bit of a off through the S's. That's caused him to go down in the 9th. Saxa made the overtake on Matzoid, which has allowed the Alpha in the points. Matzoid trying his best to catch up. He'll look at an inside line. Really be able to keep it, though? I'm not too sure. But he does. Looks like Saxa's going to have to give the position up as they come into the S's. Matzoid on the outside, but he'll be in the inside for the next turn. Here we go.
To try to fight, especially in this river.
Who has the better outline line? Matzoid goes out way wide. That's going to allow the Alpha to make it up. And Flyboy. Flyboy takes up the position as well. So Matzoid's dropped down 2.
Painful to see after a couple of mistakes. It's not been clean from him this race.
Let's have a look here. Gus Rules is trying to make a move up here on the Mercedes. Him and Seb in close contention.
Has it stopped raining?
Yes, it is not raining as heavy. Well, we still have more than half the race to go, so will this change any strategies? Apollo Pepsi with a 3-second time penalty there.
I'm just wondering, 12 laps in. Tyre wear not a massive deal on the intermediates or wets usually, but this track can be bad for it, so maybe that could be playing a part. I don't know if the tyres have seen their best already. But some of these cars have been a lot more unstable, especially through the S's and through the last sector.
So Gus Rules trying to catch up. Lap 13 now. See if he can make a move coming into turn 1. He'll play the safe game. Stays just behind. Revo's now extended his lead to 6 seconds. That guy just has so much ability. It's ridiculous. Let's have a look at some of the intervals in the medium sections. So Bandcamp 6.4 behind Gus Rules. Sphinx is 3.4 behind him. Mikau is 7.1. So a great drive from him to push himself up from 10th all the way to 6th. Pacey holding well in 7th right now. Trying to make down the gap between him and Mikau. Flyboy and Matzoid in a little bit of a battle of their own.
Yeah, they're only really tightly bunched up people. And with that battle happening a couple of laps back, Mikau and Pacey were just able to run away, and since then that little train we saw just sort of fanned out since. Right now, Saxa, Flyboy, and Matzoid. Matzoid's right up on Flyboy. Flyboy just not really able to sort of try getting more positions after a good start here. Has to be said.
So Flyboy, as they come into turn 11, Matzoid is only 0.2 behind. Have a look how that translates. Can Matzoid get a better exit speed? No, it doesn't look like it. They will maintain. So Saxa 1 second behind Wahid there. Flyboy just under. But have a look at Matzoid with that massive toe. He's going to make the overtake. But the question is, every time he goes down that line, he brakes way too late and ends up off the track. This time he brakes early. Oh, that is a perfect exit there. The Red Bull with the move. Flyboy now drops into 12th. So the Quer now Matoid will have his sights set on that Alpha. Matoid wants to finish in the points. Saxa is the only person between him and that goal.
And Saxa has a time penalty as well, so Matoid may just have to stay on the back of him, but at the same time could be holding up Matt as well, so we'll see what happens.
So the battle is still heating up here. Matoid in a great position to try and jump up.
Oh, Matoid going very sideways for that turn. And Saxa pits.
Alright, so Saxa is the first one to pull the trigger there from everyone. He'll go into the pits.
Pretty standard move halfway through the race. If it's going to stay wet all the way through, then it makes sense to get it done halfway, I suppose. Let's see what happens here.
So, due to that, Greeny's now managed to make his way underneath 1 second.
Saxa's off the intermediates.
Yep, he's jumped onto the hard. So Saxa thinks that the worst of the weather is gone. So
I don't think he needs to go on hards though. Mediums would work, but nevertheless, there's still dry tyres. So let's see how he fares, I suppose.
Alright, jump up a couple of positions here. Back to Gus Rules, who's making his move. Let's see, he's looking on the inside peak, but will he be able to have the brakes to make it work? Seb stays on the outside. It looks like they might touch! Gus had to back off, and that's caused some scrub on the speed there. Seb will maintain that second position. It was a great attempt from Gus, but unfortunately it did not work. We'll have a quick look at that again. Here we go, so you can see, just keeping on the inside, but he had to back off, and there's the drift, which has caused him to go back. So again, great attempt, but unfortunately couldn't back it up. Let's have a look here in 12th. There's Lotus. It's awfully close to Flyboy.
Yeah, Lotus has been pretty quiet this race as per usual, but it's all that commotion just happened. We've seen a couple more of the back markers just sort of making their pit stops now, trying to get a bit of time up.
Lotus gets a 3-second time penalty around turn 12.
I'm just watching the soft runners right now. They're still struggling quite a lot as Nut nearly spins it. So I think they've just gone a bit early as Pacey pits.
So we have 3 cars on non-wet weather tyres. Saxa on the hards. Lotus goes into the pits as well.
People are blinking with Pacey. I don't know if this is the right call yet, but they know better than us.
Right, so we'll jump up back to the closest battle so far, which will be between Gus and Seb. Seb doing a great job to keep that second position. He managed to hold on in the wet in Singapore. Let's see what he can do here at Coda, as Revo is now 8.7 seconds ahead.
It's a handy buffer, that's for sure.
Will Gus Rules make another peak attempt? I don't think so. No, he isn't close enough. So he'll stay behind. But it's going to be any time now, as we have just ticked over the halfway mark. There's a collision.
Ooh.
Gus Rules didn't make it, but Seb managed to hold on. So I
damage?
don't think there's damage. No, doesn't seem to be any damage. But luckily, Seb didn't get hit off.
Just keeping an eye on these dry runners. Jeff could be telling them to pit around now, so that could be why they've jumped in.
Well, let's jump back with Pacey, currently the front runner of all of the dry tyre users. Let's have a look what his handling is like. It doesn't look like there's much. Whoa! I say that as he goes a little bit too far.
Oops, Sphinx is spun. Sphinx is spun.
Oh no.
Oh dear, that's awful.
Okay, so obviously when you've got fresh tyres, questions are to be asked. We'll have a
Gus is putting for softs.
Let's have a quick jump on through there. So you can see he's blistering down 310 Ks, hits those brakes, goes to turn, and nope! Straight off the track there. Good attempt, but yeah.
A lot of people are blinking now. Interesting to see. Now, a bit of an interesting call. 12 laps to go. These softs are going to be falling off quite a bit by the end of the race.
Yeah, so lap 16, and the majority of drivers are switching off. Now, Revo is still...
Oh, Pacey! Sorry, just some massive moves in the midfield here.
Oh, he goes in between Sphinx and Wahid. Looks like the tyre temps have kicked in. And now we're going to see a little bit of interesting driving here. Sphinx goes the wide. Have a look at Pacey. He takes it through the S's. And he'll keep that position. Great job there from the Mercedes.
Sphinx not giving up, though.
Yeah, no, Sphinx wants his position back. He's trying everything he can to keep it. So Pacey will move himself up into 7th. Wade having a bit of difficulty, jeez. Okay, so on the inside, Sphinx will take it. But will he have a better exit? I'm not sure. He does keep the speed, though. So Pacey with a little bit of a mistake. So he goes back into 8th. Gus Rules will take the overtake on Mikau there. And it looks like the track is dry enough. Will we see DRS enable
it has
before
been
the end of the
enabled,
track?
yep.
It has?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Didn't see that prompt.
Oh, Pacey on Sphinx there.
Oh, Pacey's rear tyres colliding with the front of Sphinx. Hopefully there's no damage there, I don't think.
We're playing it safe, going on to mediums. Yeah, you want to be off softs by around 8 or 9 laps, so those on softs right now are going to be feeling it towards the end.
Okay, so Bandcamp, Seb, and Mikau all in the pits. Gus Rules will now take 2nd, as he did an early pit. So he's on the softs. So the majority of drivers on the mediums. Even Revo set himself on the mediums.
Yeah, it's the best call here. You're not going to get that fall off at the end of the race. Mediums are the safe bet here.
Saxa gets a 3-second time penalty. At the back there. Combined to make the overtake on Mikau, as Mikau just coming out of the pits now.
This race has been flipped on its head. We thought it was going to be weird all the way through.
There's whack.
Yeah, Pacey's back.
Okay, so combined 0.8 behind Seb. Sphinx 0.9 behind Pacey, and Matzoid is looking to make an overtake here as they come through the S's. Wahid went a little bit wide, but it doesn't look like the Red Bull could attack. Wahid on the medium tyre, Matzoid on the soft.
Wahid's car positioned perfectly. Matzoid just can't seem to just get that run or capitalise on it even. Looking on the inside here onto the left-hander going into the back straight.
He'll look at it, makes the dive. Will Wahid? Oh, the tyres almost touch. But a great job there to keep it off. Matzoid will take 9th. Wahid will drop back 1.
And well done for the head there for giving enough space there. Just enough as to see.
And Combined makes a move up on Seb up there, so he'll take 4th.
Combined 4th? When did he do that? Hello?
Yeah, so Bandcamp currently in 3rd. There's a 10-second gap between him and 4th.
It's possible. A lot of commotion in the pit lane. People getting held up. Combined might not have been.
Gus Rules sets the fastest time there with a 1:44. Now the question will be, will the drivers that have hit the softs, will they have the tyre wear to make it to the end? Because we still have 10 laps.
They will make it to the end, but again, the tyres will fall off pretty dramatically. You're going to see the best of them done by around 7 or 8 laps on those softs.
Combined setting the fastest lap. Okay.
So people like Seb, Pacey, they could be on the podium by the end of this, but there's a big gap to close up.
So as Seb drops back from Combined, Mikau, what a drive from the Red Bull. Have a look at this. He's chasing down the Mercedes with a passion. 0.3 is the gap now. Looks like that Honda engine is working overtime as he just keeps dropping down the distance, and he'll have a great shot coming into turn 11. Oh, and Seb gets a 3-second time penalty coming through the S's.
He got such a good exit there, no wonder. T-Mac bringing up a good point. Yeah, some people may have set up their car for a wet race here, and now it's dried out. That could work against them.
That is the beauty of strategy and the beauty of weather. So we had a wet initial. Here we go. Mikau chopping on the inside of Seb. Will he be able to hold it? You can see those brakes light up. What a great exit there. And he will take it. Oh, but Seb gets a little bit of contact.
Seb not giving up as easily. But, oh no, he's going to go on the inside. No.
Let's have a look at that again. You can see the Red Bull set up completely. Have a look at this. Late brake. Moves up onto the apex and then gets an amazing exit out. Keeps it straight on. Great job there from Mikau.
Beautiful racing from both of them there. Just keeping an eye on this delta between Revo and Gus here. It's been slowly drilling it back in. It was 6 seconds, I believe. Now it's into 4.3. But those softs, again, they're going to go off relatively soon.
So Gus is only 4.4. But Matzoid 0.4 behind Pacey. And Sphinx as well. Lotus gets another 3-second time penalty. Let's drop down to both of that. Matzoid goes out way wide. That's going to allow Sphinx to come in. He'll take 8th. Unfortunate there from the Red Bull. It seems that Matzoid has a bit of issues when it comes to the braking aspect.
The left pedal's for brakes. Oy. And Pepsi getting another 3-second time penalty there. Now they're rolling in these corner cutting penalties. I think everyone was playing it safe earlier.
I would give anything for the rain to come back. Just for like the last 7 laps or something.
Yes.
And then they all go, uh-oh.
Oh dear.
Sphinx gets a little bit sideways there. Pacey as well. So we'll have a look and see if Sphinx can make up the gap. Don't count Wahid out either. He's within that 1 second. As you can see, DRS back on, so they get a bit of assist as they come down the back straight.
Sphinx has gone. Pacey and Sphinx were just both sideways basically, and Matzoid's capitalised on that on the outside of Pacey right now. Pacey with the better exit though it seems, but Matzoid on the outside line.
Matzoid just got a 3-second time penalty because of that. He stayed off the track. So Matzoid is now up in to come up in the 7th. Sphinx dropped down 1. Wahid's managed to use that chaos as Pacey is sliding off. Oh, but luckily there's no damage.
He's got to get. He's in an awkward spot though. He can't just reverse out, can he? No, he can. He's got a good gap there.
All right, let's have a look.
Oh, Greeny having to slow right down to avoid that.
So Pacey comes around that corner and he goes just a little bit too hard. And luckily, he manages to stop before he hits that wall because that would have spelled absolute disaster.
Very bad, but very fortunate at the same time to not cop any damage. And he was in a good spot.
Wow,
as well.
230k and he managed to stop it right before the wall. That's good.
And in the context of the championship, which, well, if Pacey didn't show up, would have been sorted out already. But he needs any point he can get here.
We have a Sector 1, Sector 2 yellow flag.
I think, not entirely sure what happened there.
All right. So if we have a look here, everyone has blown out except Greeny in 11th right now. He's managing to catch up to Pacey after that little mishap.
Yeah, Greeny caught up to him when Pacey was just getting back up to speed. Couldn't pass him, sadly. Pacey was kind of blocking the track. And Gus hasn't really closed down on Revo, so those softs, again, may not be getting much use out of them now. As I say that, he's just got another half a second.
Yep, so Gus Rules... Revo took the fastest lap. Gus Rules took it straight after. But between now and the end of the race, I don't know if he'll be able to make that 4-second gap.
Oh, it's a big gap, and those softs are only going to get worse. It's nuts being late.
So we'll jump up a couple of positions again. Mick out. He's starting to close up hard onto the back of the Haas. Combined doing a great job to stay in 4th. But Mick out. Yeah, Mick out was punching his way through this grid.
Yeah, combined up in the 4th, Mick out 5th. Sep the big loser in all this, down to 6th.
Possibly pulling the pin too late on the pit as Pacey gets a 3-second time penalty.
Salt in the wound.
Saxa with a 3-second time penalty as well. Greeny makes the overtake on Pacey. Into turn 1. Great job there from the Renault.
Just checking to see. Sep's got a lot of ARS stored up compared to those around him. Let's see how that plays out potentially. He's only 1.6 seconds behind Meko, whose softs will fall off near the end. Looking down, no other notable gaps apart from Greeny and Pacey. Band 11 seconds behind Gus and 8 seconds in front of Combined. Looks like he's cementing himself in the third.
Revo sets the fastest lap. Gus Rules sets the fastest lap straight after, 137.9. So this Mercedes is starting to close up the gap. He looks on the inside. Will he make the turn? No, he'll just sit behind. So Greeny will hold on to 10th so far. We've still got 6 laps left.
Greeny has not much ARS compared to Pacey, but Pacey can take as much as he wants.
Seb takes the fastest lap, 137.8.
Yeah, he's charging. If he gets in DRS range of Miko, then he's twice left. 6 laps on these softs now for Gus and Combined and Metzoid. They're going to be suffering a bit now.
So they are coming around that final corner. Pacey 0.8 behind. Greeny there. That'll be the battle for the last of the points. As
Pacey
Revo is still... Well, that's right. So Revo is still 3.2.
It has been
ahead.
closed up. We have to see, I suppose. Gus is 1 second up on his last time effort. This track is really starting to speed up now.
Have a look at the speed that this Mercedes is travelling through the S's. My God.
Just caught that.
He is taking a lot of curb.
Some racing lines. Definitely racing lines.
That's so hard on the brakes here. Coming into turn 11, he'll take the outside line. Revo sets the fastest up at the 137. Will Gus Rules take it? Yes, he does! 136.5. And Apollo Pepsi gets 3 second time penalty as Pacey flies straight past that Renault like it's not even moving.
And that's why you save up your ARS, kids. He was an overtake there.
Yeah, so Pacey, great job from him, but unfortunately with all of the penalties that he secured, Greeny will take that position as long as he can hold it. Seb now sets the fastest time. 136.3 on the medium tyre.
For the second Miko as well. Could play himself in the 5th here.
So you can see that he's closing in the gap just under that 1 second mark. Now it's just popped over. Let's have a look at this Mercedes. Right, left. Keeping... Oh, Pacey with another 3 second time penalty.
There might have been a chance to get 3 seconds out on Greeny, but now there's just no chance. If Seb can get within 1 second of Miko here, he should be able to here. Looks like he might get DRS on this back straight.
Let's have a look. He breaks down late. Sphinx gets a 3 second time penalty. He's currently in 9th. So through the detection zone, Seb has qualified for DRS. The wing opens, and here we go.
As well. Look at him go.
So he's going to look at that. The speed difference is incredible. Hard on the brakes, but he's got to make the call. He goes on the inside. He takes the position temporarily, but he gets caught out as Mikau gets a much better exit. It was a great idea, but unfortunately he couldn't hold on to it. Luckily, no damages. A slight collision, but nothing too serious.
And if anyone thought that Gus was going to get the lead, he just got a 3 second time penalty, so looks like that's been shot out of the water now.
Okay, so Revo, as long as he can hold it, he will take the win. Right, now this battle between Seb and Mikau. Again, great drive from Mikau to put himself where he is. But we're starting to see those softs fail, and the mediums start to kick into their prime as Seb using the DRS.
And like with Pacey and Greeny, Seb's got a lot more DRS as he goes up on the inside and turn. Does he make it stick this time? I think he does.
Excellent drive there.
Waking a little bit, getting the job done.
So we'll have another quick look at that. As you can see, this Mercedes punching straight through that DRS, moves out to the left with a great inside line. He takes the lead, and the Red Bull has no choice but to move in.
Textbook move there.
All right, so Seb has put himself into 5th, but Mikau is not going anywhere. He's going to try his best to keep onto the back of that car. Lotus makes the overtake at the back there as Flyboy now drops down to 13th.
Potsy's a shocking 22 laps behind. Now that's just...
So Mikau is currently using DRS, but that Mercedes is gone.
Oh, yeah.
The speed difference is insane. You can tell that the tyres are starting to fail. And unfortunately, Mikau's going to have to live with that. 12 seconds is the gap between him and Matzoid. Revo, 135.6, and Gus Rules doesn't take it. So it looks like the advantage has gone.
Indeed, and we're going to start... We should see them slightly falling back now. That they would have probably not had as much wear due to the wet track maybe for a couple of laps, but they're still going to be feeling it about now. And by the looks of it, Matzoid is going to be in trouble with Wahid here. He's only 1.5 seconds away though, and Wahid will be closing in quick.
So lap 25 of 28. And Wahid is really bringing that gap down. It's now only to 1.3. So Matzoid and Mikau are both suffering, being on that soft compound. Oh, boy, Flyboy. Goes out a little bit too wide there.
Sticking right on the Lotus. Still got DRS at least, but he's got no ERS. Then again, Lotus Lotus. And Seb is right up on the combined as well. That's a good point. Combined also on softs. But Seb with all the ERS in the world.
Alright, so Seb's managed to make his drive. Let's have a look. Oh, he's looking for an outside line. Combined slows up quite hard. Here we go.
Covers.
He'll go up on the outside. The Haas will keep the inside line.
He's covering very tight. He's going to suffer on the exit here, is he?
As Revo sets another fastest lap, 1:35.3. So, Combined doing a great job to hold off so far. But Seb is all over him.
He's got plenty of time, though.
Here we go, through the triple kink. And coming into turn 19.
The heat is surely... Oh, Seb getting a little bit hairy there. Second line. No big deal, though. Still in DRS range.
Alright, so in the DRS, Combined trying to break the toe, but it's not going to work. As Seb will make his way around that outside edge.
And that is what has helped the Mercedes drivers so much. It's just the ERS race, especially in this later portion. They've had tons of ERS compared to everybody else.
So Combined is trying to keep to the back of this Mercedes, but 10 lap wear on those softs. We've got 2 laps to go, and you can see how hard they have to work to make their way around.
Oh no, he hasn't. What's he done? He's just stopped.
Pace is in the pits.
He just stopped right outside pit lane up into the entrance, but he's just come back in now, so not too short head.
So you can see that lead. Revo now at 5 seconds. So
Heat on that side as well.
the Toro Rosso is climbing hard. Here comes the DRS. Matzoid trying to break the toe, but the Toro Rosso won't let him go. Let's have a look at how much he can drop the distance. Using that
The
inside
sun's
line.
come out. Doesn't do anything there, fair enough.
So
Still got a couple laps.
chances are good for Wahid to overtake coming into the next couple of laps.
He's still going to do it, mind. Yeah, Reva's just flowing away here. Gus, that gap's driven up to 5.6 seconds. With that time penalty, Reva's got it in the bag, surely. Combined and Mekau both on worn softs, but with near around a second of each other, that's not over Reva.
Wahid with DRS at 27. Can he catch Matzoid in that Red Bull?
Ranged up quite quickly onto him into turn 1 there, but
Matzoid hard on the brakes. Sphinx with a 3-second time penalty. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2.
for unknown reasons.
So Mekau and Combined are coming up on each other as well, both on the soft tyre.
That's like too far off to really be worrying about, but again, have to hold back on the head right now.
Have a look here. Mekau looking on that outside edge. Combined planting himself firmly in the middle of the track. That's a great defensive opportunity, but the question is, will he be able to hold it? He'll take the inside line. Mekau will get a great exit out. And now he sets himself up for the next corner. The switchback happens.
Cross. Yes.
And there it is. No, but that's the matter. Mekau's just slid. That was a great opportunity.
And Wahid on Matsoy just as that
And
happened.
Wahid makes the overtake as well. And he'll take 7th.
A little bit of contact there, but got it
We'll
done.
have a quick look again. You can see Mekau here. He takes that outside line, does a great job, and then immediately sets himself up for that switchback. And he pulled it off, but he put just too much pressure on that accelerator and slides off just a little bit. And unfortunately, Combined kept his position. So it's a great opportunity there from Mekau, but unfortunately didn't pay off.
Just saw somebody grab a penalty there. I'm just scrolling back to find out who it was. I think it was Mekau. Yes, it was.
All right, so let's jump
Revo
up
coming down the back straight right now.
to the front. You can see that fuel light flashing.
Locking up as per usual. Using up all of his ARS.
Makes his way through Sector 3.
Pretty solid race for Revo. Not really had
Great drive.
Yeah,
Great
good climb
drive
up.
for Revo. Starting with a 5 grid place penalty for I'm not sure why. And then having a bad start, punching his way down. And then, of course, he regained his composure. Oh, have a look here. He's showing off as well. Spacey sets a faster slap. And Revo comes across the line here at Coda.
Yeah.
And he'll take the win. Great job from the Racing Point. And now Gus Rules will make his way around that final corner. He'll take second. Great job from him as well. Have a look at that. The gap jumped up all the way to 12 seconds.
Wow.
Bandcamp now making his way. He'll
Good drive
come
from him as
through,
well.
but let's
Pretty
jump
solid.
back because Sphinx is looking to make an overtake on Matoid. Here it is, the last lap. And Mikau's trying to do the same to Combined. Here we go around those final corners. But no, Combined will hold on. Combined will take 5th. But Mikau jumps up because of the penalties.
Wow.
So Combined will go to 6th. Mikau in 5th. Sphinx now has 2 corners to try and make this gap. He's closing up hard. Here it comes to the last corner. Will he be able to make a move? There's a bump. It throws the Red Bull off. He's drifting sideways. But the Red Bull will cross. And there it is. It's a great attempt from Sphinx. Unfortunately not being able to hold on. So 9th position for him. Matzoid keeps 8th. Greeny will come across the line. He'll sit in 10th. So the last of the point scorers. Great job from him after he had that incident early on. Lotus crosses the line in 11th. Flyboy will come across in 12th position. But I think Saxa will... Okay,
Whoa.
Saxa, he's drifting!
They had too many penalties.
Oh,
Finishing in style. Pacey with 10 seconds for corner cutting. Pretty inconsequential at this
oh
point.
man. That's nuts. Let's have a look at that again.
Oh, dear.
Have a look at Saxa in the background. Oh my lord.
And Pacey's just spun on the second to
That's great. Yeah, Pacey! Oh man, that's massive. That's it. That's it. You do the world champion dance, even though you're
Yeah.
nowhere near close. But that's
15th
okay.
place.
Oh! Oh
he
no,
made
it counts.
he made
It counts. I totally thought he got. That would have been great. Oh man. All right. So, after that incredible race, there's Revo standing on that top podium. Great drive from him to hold on to first, having to deal with all that bad weather. Luckily enough, and he really did shine through that wet weather. He just increased that lead like crazy.
Oh, beautiful race that was.
Great job there from Gus Ross to take second. And Bandcamp with another podium. He's slowly but surely sneaking his way up the grid. Great drive there from the Renault. Oh, so another race done and dusted here for Tier 1. Revo taking the win. Gus Rules in second. Bandcamp in third. Seb doing pretty good, holding on to that 4th position. Mikau with a great drive. Puts himself up in the 5th. Combined unlucky, but he will take 6th position. Wahi doing a great job. He's in 7th. Matzoid had a bunch of trouble that race, but he comes across in 8th. Sphinx, an amazing qualifying start, but unfortunately didn't quite shine through to the race, so he'll stay 9th. And Greeny will take up 10th for the last of the point scorers. Okay, so that is Tier 1 done and dusted. Hopefully you've enjoyed that at home. I know that we have. Stay tuned as we go for a short break because we will be back with Tier 2 here at Coda.